God of glory, God of power, God of goodness, God of grace, God of wisdom, God of love, God of life transcending time and space. God in me, God in me, God of glory, God of power, God of goodness, God of grace, God of wisdom, God of love, God of life transcending time and space. God in me, God in me, God of glory, God of power, God of goodness, God of grace, God of wisdom, God of love, God of life transcending time and space. God in me, God in me, God of glory, God of power, God of goodness, God of grace, God of wisdom, God of love, God of life transcending time and space. God in me, God in me, God in me, God in me. God of glory, God of power, God of goodness, God of grace, God of wisdom, God of love, God of life transcending time and space. God in me, God in me, God of glory, God of power, God of of goodness, God of grace, God of wisdom, God of love, God of life transcending time and space. God in me, God in me, God of glory, God of power, God of goodness, God of grace, God of wisdom, God of love, God of life transcending time and space. God in me, God in me, God of glory, God of power, God of goodness, God of grace, God of wisdom, God of love, God of life transcending time and space. God in me, God in me, God in me, God in me. God of glory, God of power, God of goodness, God of grace, God of wisdom, God of love, God of life transcending time and space. God in me, God in me, God of glory, God of power, God of goodness, God of grace, God of wisdom, God of love, God of life transcending time and space. God in me, God in me, God of glory, God of power, God of goodness, God of grace, God of wisdom, God of love, God of life transcending time and space. God in me, God in me, God of glory, God of power, God of goodness, God of grace, God of wisdom, God of love, God of life transcending time and space. God in me, God in me, power, God of goodness, God of grace, God of wisdom, God of love, God of life transcending time and space. God in me, God in me, God of glory, God of power, God of goodness, God of grace, God of wisdom, God of love, God of life transcending time and space. God in me, God in me, God of glory, God of power, God of goodness, God of grace, God of wisdom, God of love, God of life transcending time and space. God in me, God in me, God of glory, God of power, God of goodness, God of grace.
places. I can tell you about my birthday, but that was just a start. And we can talk about Earth Day. It's right here in my heart. Don't tell me nobody can be happy all the time. I'll tell you that the secret is inside your mind. Every day is a great day to feel fine, to feel alright, to let your big light shine. You got it, so go on and flaunt it day and night. Take the joy of living everywhere you go and make it so that everyone who sees you knows every day is a great day to feel fine. Let go of your shackles, come be happy with me. Everybody knows the best things in life are free. Every day is a great day to feel fine. Every day is a great day to feel fine. One more time. Every day is a great day to feel fine. All right. Oh, that's me. Hi, good morning. I feel like those shows you got to, you change hats. I'm still Jamie. It's still wonderful to see you. And welcome to our Sunday celebration. Whether you're here in person or you're joining us virtually, we would greatly appreciate it if you would share this live stream on whatever social media platforms you tend to use, whenever it's convenient for you, to bring more of us together in spiritual community. So thank you for doing that, or not doing it, because it means you honored your own boundaries. We're good with all that. All right. If this is your first time experiencing Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, welcome. It ain't you people in the room, so maybe it's you online. Hi, we're happy you're here. We want you to know whoever you are and whatever spiritual path you're on, and wherever you are on that spiritual path, you are welcome and celebrated here. There are several ways to connect and engage with others in this spiritual community. We invite you to check out our website calendar at, where? Is it on there? Yeah. Come on, y'all. Where? CSL.com. Right, /events if you want the events. Or you can email us at info@columbiacsl.com. And for more information, you can call our office at 410-750-8559. Lots of ways to connect. And now I get to share with you who we are and what we're up to. Our vision is contributing to a world that works for a couple people. No? Oh, a few people. My neighborhood, not yours, sorry. Contributing, no. Contributing to a world that works for everyone. We are a diverse and crazy community of belonging and growth. You're welcome. Sharing the light and joy within ourselves while learning to see it in others. Guided by Spirit, who loves to come out and play. I'm so grateful for that. Together we build a joyously engaged, inclusive community intent on uplifting and transforming lives. We are a welcoming, inclusive spiritual center where everyone can be seen and heard, and we lovingly practice the principles of science of mind in the world. As a community, our commitment to inclusion calls us to embrace and celebrate everyone's unique identity. We begin by recognizing our diverse abilities, ages, physical characteristics, gender identities, national origins, faiths and spiritual paths, sexual orientations, ethnicities, and races, and then we experience one another at increasing deeper levels as we grow together in classes, in workshops, plenty to come, pay attention to the calendar, and in service to our shared spiritual community and just hanging out together. And we come together in spiritual community on Sundays to celebrate life. So let's continue with our next song, shall we? Okay, now the second verse of this song says, my heart is full, my heart is free. Oh wait, no, it's not that part. It's, I look in the mirror and I say hello. I sang this for you last week, I think. And there's this part that says, good morning, beautiful. I love you so. And I have a challenge for you. Try that. Hold your own gaze and say it. I double dog dare you. It's transformative, okay? All right, so we're gonna practice here when you're not looking in the mirror, okay? All right, let's do it. Nope, don't like that sound. Let's try something else. How about that? There we go, that's good. Okay, this is the swing one. Bum, bum. As I wake and greet the day, I will be the one to say, sure as day follows night, there is only love and light. Heart is full, my heart is free. I opened up my eyes to see God's creation all around, left, right, up and down. I look in the mirror and say hello. Good morning, beautiful. I love you so. You are enough. You are grand. Put a smile on your face and take my hand. Let me show you all the ways God's at work and God's at play. In the very breath you take, in every plan that you make. Today's your day, so raise your hand. Today's your day to take a stand. Don't be shy, I've got you, dear. And the power of God, well, it's right here. Let me show you all the ways God's at work and God's at play. In the very breath you take, in every plan that you make. Say this with me, say, I am enough, I am grand, I am all that, oh yes I am. We're gonna do that again. Say, I am enough, I am grand, I am all that, oh yes I am. One more time. Say, I am enough, I am grand, I am all that, oh yes I am. All right. You're gonna sing it till you believe it. How about that?
Good morning. Uno momento, por favor. That's about all I know. All right. So while I have a moment, where did it all go? Well, I had people. I'm just going to have to rely on my memory cells now. Good morning, Dr. Lisa. Good morning, Gail. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Marvell. Good morning, Rebecca. Good morning, Grace. And if I missed anybody, I apologize. Put something in the chat so your name's there again, and I'll catch you in the next time. All right. So our overarching theme this morning is Quest for God. And so we're going to contextualize that wherever our wheel of wisdom lands. And Dealing with other people's opinions of me. Who put these questions on here? So we will take this into meditation. I will allow infinite intelligence within me to inform me of how we're going to blend all of this together, the quest for God, while dealing with other people's opinions of us. Yeah. It's, here's the beautiful part. There's nothing that's not connected. So I just get to see how it's all connected. So we're going to go into our meditation. It'll be some music that takes you into the meditation. Then there'll be a brief period of silent meditation. And then Reverend Jenna will bring us out of that with our opening spiritual mind treatment. And then Jamie will sing to us some more, and other things will happen after that. Oh, I lied. I didn't mean to lie. This is what happens when you do too many things. First, we're going to do our candle lighting ritual and our sacred reading. Then we're going to do all that other stuff I said.
Our founder, Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes, was a dedicated study and a great synthesizer, identifying the common and connecting threads within the various religions, philosophies, and ancient wisdom teachings of the world. Science of Mind is the synthesis of Ernest Holmes' lifetime of study. Let us breathe together as we light a candle honoring some of these faith traditions. As we light the first candle, we honor Christianity as a path of love and forgiveness. As we light the second candle, we honor Buddhism as a path of compassion and Four Noble Truths. As we light the third candle, we honor Judaism as a path of ethical living through sacred law. As we light the fourth candle, we honor Baha'i as a path of unity and peace. As we light the fifth candle, we honor Islam as a path of surrendering to the will of God as the highest calling. As we light the sixth candle, we honor Confucianism as a path of deliberate tradition. As we light the seventh candle, we honor Taoism as a path of harmony and balance. As we light the eighth candle, we honor all indigenous peoples' traditions as paths that recognize and honor spirit and all of creation. As we light the ninth candle, we honor Shintoism as a path of optimism and the inherent goodness of humanity. As we light the 10th candle, we honor Hinduism as a path of knowledge, action, and devotion. As we light the 11th candle, we honor Akan as a path that honors the divine, ancestors, and nature. As we light the 12th candle, we honor all New Thought philosophies as a path of adherence to universal spiritual principles of love and law. As we light this final candle, we honor the multiplicity and diversity within the wholeness of creation as sacred. Namaste. Our reading this morning, The Season of Ingathering by Reverend Dr. Howard Thurman, from the Inward Journey. It's is adapted for gender neutrality. This is the time of gathering in, the season of the harvest in nature. Many things that were started in the spring and early summer have grown to fruition and are now ready for reaping. Great and significant is the harvest in nature. The most pertinent kind of ingathering for the human spirit is the harvest of the heart. Long ago, Jesus said that we should not lay up for ourselves treasures on earth, where moths corrupt and thieves break in and steal, but that we should lay up for ourselves treasures in heaven. This insight suggests that life consists of planting and harvesting, of sowing and reaping. We are always in the midst of the harvest and always in the midst of planting. The words that we use in communication, the profound stirrings of the mind out of which thoughts and ideas arise, the ebb and flow of desires out of which the simple or complex deed develops, are all caught in the process of reaping and sowing, of planting and harvesting. There are no anonymous deeds, no casual processes. Living is a shared process. Even as you are conscious of things growing in you, planted by others, which things are always ripening, so others are conscious of things growing in them planted by you, which things are always ripening. Inasmuch as we do not live or die unto ourselves, it is of the essence of wisdom for us to conscientiously live and die in the profound awareness of other people. The statement, "Know thyself," has been taken mystically from the statement, "Thou hast seen thy brother, thou hast seen thy God."
There is peace in the silence. There is unspoken joy in the silence. There's from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence, I find God. I find God. I find myself.
Storm, all the strength of a hurricane. You could have come like a forest fire with the power of heaven in your flame, but you came snow. Quiet and soft and slow, falling from the sky in the night to the earth below. Could have swept in like a tidal wave, or an ocean to ravage our hearts. You could have come through like a roaring flood to wipe away the things we've scarred. But you came like a winter snow. Yes, you did. You were quiet and soft and slow, falling from the sky in the night to the earth below. You came like a winter snow. Quiet, you were soft and slow, falling from the sky in the night to the earth below.
Let's take a breath together. Thank you, Jamie. Welcome home.
Thank you. I was late, but I made it.
Hey, right on time.
Amen.
Quest for God. When we're dealing with other people's opinions of us, which, if we're really telling the truth, equates to every day. Because somebody always has an opinion of somebody. And here's how you know with absolute certainty that other people have opinions of you. Ready? Because you have opinions of other people. And that's just how it works. People got opinions. We all have them. And perhaps that's as it's supposed to be. Perhaps opinions inform us of what to move out of the way to find God. See, but too many of us, if not most of us, if not all of us, are fooled by our opinions because we think they're facts. Anybody else? Right. And then we develop this wonderful thing called hindsight bias. Right? Hindsight bias is another way of saying, I told you so. Okay? We create a narrative. We participate in making that narrative follow out. And then we sit back and go, told you so.
Yeah.
Right? And the problem is that we're only seeing what confirms our narrative. There is a lot more going on. And we just excuse that. Right? That's just noise. Let me tune the station in just a little bit better. Tune out all that static that actually might be informing us about what's really going on. All right? Maybe it's just me. But I don't think so. Because I think it's part of our human conditioning. Right? It doesn't have to be a part of our condition as humans. There's a difference. Human conditioning, we're kind of born into. We're saturated. But if what we teach is true, we each have the power to change the conditioning of our conditioning. Okay? Change your thinking, change your life. Are we willing to do that, or are we more interested in being right? Are we more interested in identifying those people who are ungodly? I love it when I know I'm connected, because people are like, "Oh no, he did not say that." Right? Yeah. If God is all there is, please introduce me to ungodly. I'll wait. There can't be God is everything and ungodly. Can't be. The problem is we equate people's behavior to the truth of their being. I can behave in an ungodly manner. Trust me. I have paperwork in my past to prove it. As a human being who's coming up on 42 years of recovery, I can behave in an ungodly manner. That doesn't make me ungodly. It makes me confused. It makes me sick. It makes me in need of love.
Yes.
Deeply in need of love. The people that you can't stand the most need your love the most. That does not mean you need to go hug them. Let me be really clear. If you are in an abusive relationship, your abuser needs your love. You do not need to put yourself in the proximity to hug them to be hurt. They are not the same thing. Right? And if truth be told, we're really good with the phrase, "I'm going to love you from a distance." Right? And if the truth be told, sometimes we love the distance between us. It goes both ways. What's important is that we be honest with ourselves. Because you can't change a thing until you identify it. Right? I went to get an oil change the other day. That was my only intention, was to go get an oil change. Turns out, Merry Christmas, you need front brakes and rotors. Now, something has been identified, and I have a new choice to make. I can choose to ignore that. There have been times in my past where I did. That's great. I'm not hearing metal on metal yet, so I can just keep pumping, just brake lightly for a little while. I had that option. Right? I had the option to go to poor, pitiful me, because I don't want to spend that money right now. I had all kinds of options. I could have blamed Ford Motor Company, except I know too much. They're the original brakes on this truck. You're supposed to get about 80,000. I got 91,000 miles out of those brakes. Right? I can find the gratitude, or I can go running down the rabbit hole. Right? Here's the thing. If we are looking for God, if we are on a quest for God, get out of the rabbit hole. Many of us live our lives in the rabbit hole. We come up for a vacation in humanity, and then we go right back down in the rabbit hole. We rearrange it, we redecorate it, we add rooms in our rabbit hole. God does not live in your rabbit hole. I know, right? You can dig all you want. The problem with our rabbit hole is we're looking to make God in our image rather than understand that we are in its image. The rabbit hole is a limited God because it's your rabbit hole. See, you ever notice how you don't join other people in their rabbit holes? That's where the opinions come about. I got all kinds of opinions about you and your rabbit hole, but you stay out of mine. All right? Rabbit holes are just opinions. Deeply held opinions that we've built condos in. All right. This too shall pass, but only if you continue to move. If you anchor and set up shop, this too shall persist. It's trying to pass, but we latch on to it. Right? I was having a conversation with somebody the other day who was dealing with a lot of anxiety. And no matter what I said, I wasn't presenting it in a way that was making sense to them. And all of a sudden, the example that came is we can approach anything in our life. And in this particular case, it was anxiety. We can look at it and go, oh, there's anxiety. What can I do to resolve that? Or we can go, oh, look, there's some anxiety. Let me get some of that. Rub it on here. Let me get me some anxiety. And we own it. And we slather it all over ourselves instead of just going, oh, there's some anxiety on its way by. Right? Just let it go by. You don't have to grab a hold of it and shower in it. Just because you have a thought doesn't mean you have to keep it. Right? And it doesn't mean you have to beat yourself up for having it. Remember, there's how many minds? One. Everybody's using it. Every once in a while, you're going to encounter a drive-by thought that you have no idea where it came from. Do you really need to know where it came from? Where are you from? Tell me, thought, where are you? What do you mean? Or what if we just go, just like the Goodyear blimp. Remember how fascinated we were? Let's date ourselves. Those of us that were around when the Goodyear blimp started, and all of a sudden it had that little scrolling marquee across it. We're all like, wow. Right? It just kept going though. There was no way to text the blimp and say, could you back that up like 10 seconds? Because I want to stay there. It just kept scrolling by. Perhaps opinions are better allowed to scroll by. Your opinions, my opinions, your opinions of me, my opinions of you. They're just drive-bys. And if it keeps coming up, well, now you might want to address it. Right? If every time you encounter person A, the same opinion pops up, I submit to you that that's an invitation to pay attention to where you're focusing your attention. It has nothing to do with them. Nothing. It has to do with what are you focusing your attention on? Right? Are you willing to see past your own opinion to the divinity of that being? Now, a couple of you have, I hear it, so that tells me you're listening, which tells me I really need to be careful about what I say. But there's a thing that I do when somebody shows up in a manner that is challenging for me. Sometimes I just anchor in, aren't you an interesting way for God to show up? Right? Because it allows me to embrace my humanness and to remind me that that's God. See, my quest for God is easy. It's everywhere. It's the microphone I'm using. It's the speaker it's coming out of. It's the sound wave that is happening that we're all hearing. It's the chair that you're sitting in. It's the building we're in. It's the trees. It's the ground. It's the squirrels. It's the people I can't stand, their behaviors. It's all of it. Finding God is easy. Understanding that we have found God is the challenge.
It's all right. It's all right.
Remembering in those moments. If I am nothing else, I keep it real. And so through ministerial school, we have a sponsor, and that's the minister that says, yes, this person is prepared to go to ministerial school. And then we have a mentor. And that the mentor is the one who gets all of our crazy phone calls. And so I would call Reverend Dr. Michelle Wadley, and sometimes I was so in it that all I could do to start the sentence was, I'm about to slap the face of God. And she would peel me off the ceiling. Right? Get people in your life that you can be raw and open and honest with. Yes. Who will see that, okay, so you're on the ledge. Let's start by sitting down so you don't fall off. That will have you. Yes. Right? Donald Lewis. I miss Donald Lewis. One of the greatest conversations I had with him. I will never forget it. We were talking about his illness and his health journey, and he said, you know what, Rev? He said, I've been through a lot, and something's going to take me off the planet because we're all leaving from something. He said, and I've had really challenging times, but my back has never been against the wall because there has always been somebody between my back and the wall. Right? Who's got your back? Who's the buffer between your back and the wall? Whose back do you have? Because that's what spiritual community is really about. Do you have each other's back? Are you willing to risk vulnerability and somebody else's opinion of you to gently, lovingly, kindly tell one another the truth? When you see somebody heading for a brick wall, are you willing to risk vulnerability to tap them on the shoulder and go, just want to check in. Do you see the wall you're headed for? Understanding that you could be completely incorrect. Right? It could be you see the wall and they don't, and it could be maybe they need to hit it. I don't know. What I know is if I took away every messy moment of my life, I would have a really tiny life. I would have a really boring life, and I wouldn't be standing here. Right? The beauty is in the messiness. We've got books about it. What's in the way is the way.
Yes.
Right? We're so busy trying to get rid of the mess, trying to get rid of other people's opinions, trying to get rid of our own opinions. We're missing the opportunity to learn from them. It's no secret I'm a hillbilly. So here's the thing about other people's opinions of you. If one person tells you you're a horse, no big deal. If two people tell you you're a horse, yeah, you can blow that off. But if everybody in your life is telling you you're a horse, you might want to get a saddle and clean your stall. I'm just saying. How many people are saying this opinion? Because if everybody else sees it and you don't, maybe they're actually loving you enough to tell you. Maybe. I'll close with this. I was 16 years old. And I had never been taught how to properly brush my teeth and never been taught about deodorant. And Grace Madigan, who eventually became my foster mother, loved me enough to sit me down and explain those things to me. Did it hurt to hear that I was walking around offending people because I stunk? Yeah, especially at 16. The difference is I didn't know, because that's just how I smelled. I just figured everybody smelled that way. Problem is, I was so busy smelling me, I couldn't smell that other people didn't smell. Right? We don't know what we don't know, and sometimes we don't know that we don't know. Love each other enough to kindly own it as your perspective. Hey, I'm seeing this, and I'm concerned about you. And I care enough to risk your wrath by saying something. And then you have to let it go. Then you have to let it go. If you've ever been part of an intervention, they can go really different ways. Right? You set up this whole intervention with somebody, and typically the interventions are with someone that has a substance use disorder. And people that love them sit down and share with them, this is our experience of you. And we have a vehicle waiting out front to take you to treatment right now. Sometimes those go really well. And sometimes they go like this. Is everybody finished sharing what they have to share? Yeah, good. Screw you, I'll be at the bar. Sometimes that's how they go. I've seen it. And that's where we love somebody from a distance, and we honor that we don't know what somebody else's path is. I don't know that your path is wrong if you're at the bar. I don't know that. I know it ain't going to work for me. My son died of an overdose in his sleep at 42 years of age. I don't know why that was his path. I don't like that that was his path. But I honor that was his path. Seeking God, our quest for God. Have it in other people's opinions. Find God in their opinions of you. Because it's there. It has to be. Even if it's just a tiny grain of something, find it. I will absolutely close with my favorite story about finding the things that matter. There's two kids. A psychologist is studying two kids. One, he's looking at deprivation, the impacts of deprivation, and one he's watching the impacts of overstimulation. And he's got these two kids in a room. And this kid for the overstimulation, he's got every toy you can imagine, right? And the psychologist is watching him, and he's starting to play with the toys. And over in this room, he's got a kid in a room full of manure. And he's watching the kid, and the kid has just kind of parked himself, and he's giving it one of these, and deep in thought. So he pans back over to the kid with all the toys, and now the kid's crying and throwing things, and this doesn't work right, and that doesn't work right. And he pans back over to the kid in the room full of manure. And by now, this kid has found a shovel. And he's just whistling and singing and shoveling manure as hard and fast as he can. The psychologist is like, okay, I see none of this coming. So he goes down and he talks to the kid in the room full of manure. And he said, I just got to know, kid, but I expected you to be sitting here crying and complaining about the smell. And what is up with you? You are having a blast. The kid put the shovel down for a minute, and he looked at him and he said, Mister, here's how I figure it. With all this shit, there has got to be a pony in here somewhere. Are you willing to find the pony? Because there's a pony in everybody's opinion of you. Find the pony. Let's take this into prayer. One love, one life, one God, everywhere present, expressing itself in exquisite multiplicity of diversity. Changeless, nameless, and yet no two expressions of it are alike. I am that in form. All in this physical realm is that in form. This physical realm is that in form. All that connects everything, the quantum field, the air, the breath of life, one breath breathing. Each of us. And so I choose intentionally this day to find the pony in everything, to see it everywhere, to see God magnified, to engage in a larger idea of God. No longer willing to create a God in my image. I quest for the God that is expressing its image in all of life. A God that is diversity expressed. A God that is culture expressed. A God that is opinions expressed. I intentionally, consciously choose to see God everywhere, every minute, every day, all the time. No breaks, no exception. I choose to return love. I choose to see every cry of inappropriateness as a cry for love. And I meet it there in the heart space of the divine, God giving to God. I say yes to being all that I came here to be. into seeing that same truth in each and every expression of the divine. God and only God. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the activity of law, that doer within the triune nature of God that has already made it so. And so there is nothing for me to do to create it, but rather to step into being it. And so I let go of all doubt. I let go of any fear. I let go of any ideas that tell me I need to control anything. And I surrender to being God, everywhere present with God. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amen. Amen. And so it is. Let's take a breath. Okay. So continuing in this sacred space, this is our time of giving. This is our time when in this earthly realm we get to do what the divine does all the time. Give. You know how we know there's never a break in God's giving? Because we still exist. If there was even so much as a pause, game over. That's how you know that God is giving nonstop, because you're still here. All right. We have a couple of ways you can give. You can text the word give to 410-498-6175. You can mail a check to 659 Cog Court, Millersville, Maryland 21108. Or you can go to our website, click on the Donate tab, and that will also give you multiple different ways to donate as well. We do ask that you give to help us sustain this amazing community and to help us grow. Okay, what happened? There we go. So let's read our giving affirmation together. Here we go. I affirm that the abundance of creation is my abundance. I give freely to sustain and grow Columbia Center for Spiritual Living as my beloved spiritual community. I give to ensure Columbia CSL's continued availability to all spiritual seekers. And if I could have a couple of folks to do the baskets in the room. Thank you, Dale. Thank you, Eamon.
We're going to do a little instrumental for you today and save Mary Did You Know for Brandon's back.
So I speak a word of blessing, a word of gratitude, a word of acknowledgement for the divine as money, knowing that God is giving to God to sustain this amazing idea in the mind of God as Columbia CSL. We give through Columbia CSL to do amazing work in the world. And so it is.
So it is.
Okay. So thank you, those of you that are sending in your pledges. They're starting to come in now. I'm like, yay! Every time one shows up in my email, I'm like, woohoo! I literally do that. My poor dogs are like, what is wrong with you, human? Because they get excited every time I get excited, only they don't know what they're excited about. Oh well. So please keep those coming. We've got 2 special services coming. Next week is our candle lighting service, and there will be an opportunity for each of you to light a candle to signify your divine yes to whatever is alive in you that wants to be birthed. The next Sunday will be our burning bowl ceremony. And someone sent me an email, said, shouldn't we do the burning bowl before we light the candles? Maybe. But here's why we're not. Because oftentimes when we say yes, all of the things that we need to release in order for that yes to happen then come to our awareness. And so my experience has been releasing things happens way better after we say yes and know what it is we need to actually start releasing. So that's why we're doing it that way. Okay, so I'm going to ask Carol to come up here and join me because she knows this book. And so I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about why you might want to come take this class.
Well, I have a son who's a gravitational physicist, and I know he's a lot smarter than I am, for sure, and he knows that too. But it also means that I'm being interested in physics and in the universe in terms of its physicality and what we know about it. And if you've seen any of the pictures from the James Webb telescope, I just get filled with awe seeing the universe. I mean, it's so amazing. It's just so amazing. But at the same time, I feel a little fear because it's so different than our Earth. A lot of it looks cold. And so I love this book. And by the way, I didn't look up numinous in terms of what it means in the dictionary, but it seems to mean spirit, and it's a word that you can believe in spirit without being religious or spiritual in your own consciousness. It means where everything comes from. Jamie's songs come from, Rafe's new ideas sitting there every time not knowing what he's going to talk about. That's where it comes from. That's when we're in meditation or just walking around and suddenly we just know. And the Numinous Factor is a book about physics, but it's also about spirituality. And what I'll tell you about is that there's so much in it that reinforces CSL beliefs, including, how scientists have found out that little bitty particles make a choice when they come up against whether if they're just one hole they're being sent into, they just go through it, but if it gets to be more, they actually morph for a few minutes to decide whether to do it as a particle or as energy. Now, what this suggests to me is the whole universe, in its physicality, is conscious. And if it's conscious, it can also be spiritual. And there's a way now in which very secular scientists are finding things that teach them what we would say is God is in everything. And they would say the particles make a choice. So this book is fun. It's not hard to read. It's not like the books that my son would read. But nevertheless, I would invite you. I've already signed up for it, and I would invite you to do that too.
Thank you. Consciousness is all there is. So yes, consciousness kind of has to be conscious, right? All right. So there's the other one that we're doing is Build the Life You Want, the art and science of getting happier. Both of these, there are multiple options. If you have the resources and can pay for the whole class, we certainly invite you to do that. If you don't, and you would prefer to spread out payments, we invite you to do that. If you don't have it to give, please come anyway, right? Because this is about giving to God. And so sometimes we're in the receiving space, right? So don't let that keep you from coming. When you sign up, you'll see that there's those 3 options there. So if you really cannot afford it, please come anyway, because maybe coming will help you figure out how to change things so you can afford it. I'm just saying, that's kind of how this thing works, all right? All right. We are looking for new board members. I will simply say this. It is a sacred service of caring for the finances of the community. And so if you are called to that, please know there are applications on the table there in the back. You can also complete it online. Eamon is the chair of the nominating committee for Columbia CSL. If you have questions, you can talk to him. Mary Jane is a board member. Dale is a board member. Jamie is a board member. Zita is a board member. Ask them what they do. Ask them, they'll tell you it's not as hard as it was when you didn't have a minister and the board was doing a lot of the heavy lifting. We have gotten things really streamlined, and so give it another look. We've done it together. It's a togetherment. If you need assistance remembering the truth of your being, these folks can help you with that. They are specifically trained to do just that. They're not going to give you advice. They're not going to solve your problems, but they're going to help you remember and access the infinite intelligence within you and the magnificence that you are so that you can do those things. If you want to put in a prayer request, a couple of ways you can do that. Right over there on that blue table by the window, there are prayer request forms. Fill one out, drop it in the basket. You can also email us at prayer@columbiacsl.com. You can also pray with Reverend Jenna out in the lobby immediately after service. So if you got something going on, don't leave here with it. Thank you. Thank you, IO, for being here and getting all the live streams set up. Thank you, Zita, for being our reader this morning and for continuing to dive deeper into the land of live stream. It is a learning curve. Thank you, Reverend Jenna, for being our practitioner this morning. Thank you, Laura Service, for being our greeter and our hospitality person. Thank you, Dale and Eamon, for being our ushers. Thank you, Rebecca Bell, licensed practitioner who's been engaging with our online community this morning. Thank you, Noah, with the best hair in the room. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Gary. And thank all of you and you out there in live stream land. You're very welcome. It is my honor and privilege to serve. Thank you for letting me serve. Okay. So, our affirmation, I'm going to read it to you once, and now that I know it's actually up there, then I'll show it to you. Today I choose to see God everywhere, in everyone, in everything. So if you're ready to make that choice, let's say that together. Today I choose to see God everywhere, in everyone, in everything. All right. All yours, Miss Jamie.
Funny how that goes with your talk today. The affirmation goes with your talk today. See, I'm paying attention. That's yummy. Thank you for being here. And may we remember that in all ways and always. Have a wonderfully loving, yummy week until we see you again.
Now my hands do your work, and now my lips speak your truth. And now my life is the image of your love, Spirit, Spirit in me. My voice sings your song. Now my heart is at peace. Now my soul is the laughter of a child. Spirit, Spirit in me. Of your love, Spirit, Spirit in me. Now my voice sings your song. Now my heart is at peace, and now my soul is the laughter of a child. Spirit, Spirit in me. And so my hands do your word, and now my lips speak your truth. Now my life is the image of your love, Spirit, Spirit in me. Spirit, in me. Spirit